How's it going, everyone? I am here to talk about some of the new 2xKO changes that they've released. Full hour talking about stuff. I'm not gonna go through all of it. Just kind of my little collected thoughts and about the direction of the game, about where it's headed, how I feel, all that kind of fun stuff. I want to give a little bit of disclaimer. I've been following this game since it was Project L, so I've been very interested in this game for a very, very long time. And that might lead me to be a little bit more favorable than I think some other people. But that being said, I'm still very excited. I know some people are a little bit worried, especially with the roster size. I think that has been the biggest thing. But with the changes that they've made, and with the feedback, with the transparency, I have no real qualms about about the roster size, really. Is it unfortunate that at the start of this game we're not gonna have like 20 characters or even 15, 16? Yeah, that's it's unfortunate, but it's a live service game. It's a live service game that's giving us characters for free. So I don't think we need to worry about it. I don't think there's gonna be it's gonna be like Valorant, where it's like there's probably like 4 or 5 champs a year for the first bit, and then they slow it down maybe. But I don't even know, because in theory they could just kind of keep up, because the main things you're really developing is probably going to be the champs after launch. And skins, obviously, because skins are going to be the big monetary value. Where it's like, yes, maps are important, and yes, there probably will be extra maps in the game. I think that takes a lot less dev time and a lot less planning compared to like a game like Valorant. That's just from the outside looking in. So there's a chance that it is even a higher output of champs into 2xKO compared to Valorant in the first few seasons. But yeah, I think I see a lot of people kind of freaking out and being very doomer about the game. And I think the rationale from the devs makes the most sense. Is yes, they could have delayed the game and had more champions in, but just getting it in the hands of people I think is even better. And then you're able to iterate off of that, and they've shown that they're wanting to iterate with the changes to, I think it's Pulse Fuse was called, with the auto combos. The fact that that's now a control scheme, people were very, very adamant about that, of hey, I'm playing with my buddy who doesn't know fighting games. I don't want to use Pulse Fuse, but my buddy who doesn't know fighting games needs to use Pulse Fuse because he's just not there yet. So I think having that just being an option is, or a control scheme option, is very smart. I think they're doing it similar to Street Fighter 6 Modern Mode, which I think has been really, really good for the health of Street Fighter. I know it's annoying, and Modern Zangief with one button supers, and it's just there's obviously things where it's annoying. But at the high level, it really doesn't affect it. And it just is more accessible to more people. And we've seen, just kind of speaking on that Pulse Fuse and stuff like that, I know some people are not happy with simplified inputs. It still seems like a very execution heavy game. So yeah, you're not doing quarter circles, but the execution's still gonna be needed, and there's so many things that they put into this game, with this Fury break. There's so many decisions and stuff that you need to make, and mix-ups, and there's I don't see the oh, this is gonna be simplified. I saw one person also talking about Melee is one of the most insane execution heavy games, and it's simplified inputs. I know people don't love to hear Smash Brothers compared to FGC, but it is a reality of the situation. So I don't want to worry about that. And I think getting the game in people's hands, going back to that main point, is just going to be the most important. And whether we see like a big like season 2 kind of like full overhaul update, something like that, who knows. But I think it's gonna be very important to get it into the hands of all players. And I like the idea of what they're doing with this Alpha Lab 2. I know everyone wants to play this game. Like, and it's unfortunate that Alpha Lab 2 isn't this like bigger kind of like open beta we were kind of wanting and hoping for. But it being small and just being like, hey, we're kind of just refining changes, and this is a lot more like kind of low-key test, because it is only for a weekend. I think it gives me a little bit more hope that it's gonna be coming out sooner, because the gameplay, it doesn't seem that much different. It seems like they have everything pretty much down, and it's just kind of polished and like waiting for that like release window that they're targeting. Again, we don't know the state of the other, how many champs they have in development, how many champs are done, like kind of that whole deal, but it feels like they're getting closer to release, and they'll be kind of drip feeding after Alpha Lab, drip feeding characters. And my hope would be like around Evo would be a release or something like that. I could be wrong, or maybe around Worlds for League of Legends. Like, I could see it being tied to one of those events. But yeah, the changes I think all have been really, really good. I think they've done better with making like the moments feel good. Like, I don't know how long it'll go, but the perfect parry in the video, if I can actually just find it. It was somewhere in here. I don't know. But that being said, like they did a really good job with making the moments feel bigger and feel better with the perfect parry, with the retreating guard knockdown. They've fixed the part where you handshake tag and your handshake tagged into a assist that's getting comboed, like, and it feels like they've ironed out a lot of the like annoying problems. They're not game breaking, like, but it's I think very good to see that a lot of the stuff that they've done is very menial. Like, I also think this bad block indicator is really good. Like, it's not cluttered. Like, when they said this, I was very, very worried, because I was like, oh no, don't be like the giant Guilty Gear counter and have like the screen be insanely visually cluttered. But just having like those little particle effects, it helps. I think it'll help new players if they know the system. Hopefully they do a good job in the tutorial of explaining that system, so you kind of know, like, oh, I got mixed up here, and this is what I need to change and all that. And I think what they're doing with making this game as accessible as possible is going to be very, very good for the VGC overall. I see this a lot with especially content creators, and I've seen it with a few friends of mine personally. Like, fighting games are this like insanely daunting mountain. And it's so hard to get into them because the execution is so important. Here's the parry I was talking about. Execution is so important. It's such a different kind of style of game, especially with directional inputs and stuff. And like, it's also just such a game that like you're going to be losing a lot, and it sucks because it's 1v1 and there's not a team to blame. Like, I mean, I guess this can be 2v2, so you can blame your partner, but like, for the most part, if you lose a fighting game, it's your fault. And that's one of the things I love about them, and I think a lot of people, once they get past the first stage of getting into them, then that's what they also start to love about it too. But like, you see it with streamers and like with the Sage Am Slam. Like, there's so many people that like just adore fighting games after being like, oh, I taught them and I'm having a ton of fun now. Like, the second you get past that barrier, everyone's like, oh my god, these games are great. And like, I think Lily Pichu is one of the best examples of with Tekken and I saw them playing Unist, like I think I saw them playing Grand Blue. Like they're getting into all these different games as well, and it's just, I think, really good for the health of the scene. And I think 2XKO has the opportunity to build off that and really, like, I don't want to say explode the scene, but like, I really think just having a really good free-to-play game with noticeable characters is gonna help a lot. Like, I think an analog could be made to Marvel Rivals, honestly, because the hero shooter genre was kind of faltering for a bit. Like, Overwatch is still very, very popular as someone who plays Overwatch. But like in the general populace, it really wasn't that big. And then you have this game with really cool Marvel characters that everyone knows, and everyone's playing it. Like that week when Marvel Rivals came out, every single person you knew, it felt like, was playing Marvel Rivals. Like every streamer was playing it, your friends were playing it. It was great. And yes, it's kind of fallen back to normalcy. I still think it's the most popular game right now. So I'm not saying it's gonna be the same for 2XKO, but just kind of having that surge in popularity by having this free game, by having it being noticeable characters, like being able to profit off this League IP and the accessibility options, I think is going to help 2XKO really break into mainstream popularity a bit. And I could see this like becoming one of like the big three type fighting games. Because I do think there is an opening at that third spot. Like Street Fighter, Tekken are just kind of there. It used to be Mortal Kombat, and I don't think it is. I think right now you would be talking about Fatal Fury and Guilty Gear in that third spot. I personally would say it's Guilty Gear probably. But yeah, so I think 2XKO really could like become a very huge staple in the scene. I will get into speculation here, because going back to the 10 characters, I mean, there's 3 left. And there was a data mine of like redacted characters, and I don't want to read too much into it because game devs are smart. Sometimes they'll leave misdirects, so I don't want to. It very well could be true in that like alphabetically there's some rhyme or reason to it, but I don't want to think about it too much. But the characters like I think will be left in this game for the launch. I think I'm very biased and I'm gonna say Set is gonna be one of the first ones. Mostly because I don't think we have a grappler in this game yet. I know it's kind of another big body, so it is a little unfortunate that they haven't put in a grappler yet, because like they'll be kind of a 4th big body out of the 6. But that being said, I do think having a grappler is pretty important. I don't think it's gonna be like an insane Zangief level grappler like Potemkin. I think Set would be a little bit more like a brawler grappler hybrid. My number one choice, I'd probably just be playing Ari Set forever and never have to worry about it, or maybe add some Echo in because Echo is super fun. But I think he is a very good shot, at least if not at the start, very soon after. I think Lux is a very high possibility, but the only problem is like they already have a zoner. So with Jinx, so it's like, do you want to add another zoner already? Which again, it might be yes, because Lux is extraordinarily popular. And makes a ton of money on skins. So, you know, that is inevitably a factor and inevitably something that you take in consideration. I also think Akali has a pretty good shout, because I don't think we have like I think we could use another rushdown. I think Echo kind of does that a little bit, but I think he's more mix-up heavy, where it's like you could do kind of a similar style, but just different with Akali, and I think it would also be a really good one. I've been seeing also a lot of people say Pike. Pike could be a cool one. I think having like kind of a hook champion in wouldn't be a bad idea. And I think he would be the one that translates the best. Like, I think Blitzcrank could also fill that niche, but I think he's just not as interesting, at least to me. But yeah, I think that's... I'm gonna wrap it up here because I don't want to just be yapping forever, because I really could yap forever about 2XKO. Overall, I'm very, very excited. I can't wait to get my hands on this game. If it's in Alpha Lab 2, I'm just gonna be streaming that entire weekend, playing 2XKO for hours and hours and hours. If not, and we have to wait until the release, that's fine. Like, it's close enough that I'm not like itching for news and stuff like that, like I feel like I was before for the first Alpha Lab. But yeah, I'm super excited, and I hope other people are too, because I think this could be a really amazing game. So thank you all for watching. If you stuck around this long, I don't know why, but if you did, have a wonderful, wonderful day or night.